The giant hall of the Galactic Council gleamed with the light of 1,000 stars. 2,500 years of peace was a long time. The aliens were proud of this fact. They celebrated with grand speeches and promises of many more years, without war. Jun Kim stood at the back of the hall. His face showed nothing as he watched the alien leaders talk. As Earth's top diplomat, he had spent 10 years in these halls. 10 years of smiles and handshakes with beings who were not human. 10 years of feeling like something was wrong. Enjoying the show? A voice asked beside him. Jun turned to see Yunha Lee. Her black uniform stood out among the bright clothes of the aliens. Not really, said Jun. You're back early from your dig. Yunha looked around and moved closer. We need to talk, she whispered. Not here. Jun nodded. He had known Yunha since they were children. She was Earth's best scientist and never got scared easily. If she was worried, something was very wrong. They met in Jun's office. The walls were plain metal, unlike the rich stones of the alien rooms. Humans were still seen as newcomers even after 200 years in the council. What did you find? Asked Juna. Yunha placed a small black box on the table. This was hidden in the ruins on Kepler 4. It's old, very old. She touched the box. A blue light filled the room, showing strange writing. It's their oldest language, said Yunha. They don't think we can read it, but I can. And? Jun leaned forward. They've been lying to us. To everyone. Yunha's hands shook slightly. The peace was never real, at least not the way they told us. The blue light changed to show pictures of humans. Old humans from when Earth first met the aliens, then newer images across many years. They've been taking from us, said Yunha. Our blood, our genes. Small changes to make their kind stronger. Jun's face got hard. You're sure? There's more. Yunha showed more images, secret bases, weapons that should not exist in a peaceful galaxy. They let us join the Council 200 years ago not as equals, but as resources. They use us. All those medical tests, the required blood samples, each year when it wasn't for our health. Jun stood up and walked to the window. The great city of the Council spread below, beautiful and alien. How many people know about this? Just us, and Day. Jun turned. You told Fleet Commander Park? I had to. He needed to prepare. Jun closed his eyes. Day Park was a good man, but he had always hated the Council. He would want action, not talk. Jun, said Yunha, they're planning something bigger. The tests are getting more frequent. They're taking more samples from our colonies. Something is coming. The comm unit on Jun's desk beeped. He picked it up and listened. His face went pale. What is it? Asked Yunha. Colony 7 just sent an emergency call. A Council health ship landed and tried to take 300 people for special testing. Our people fought back. And the aliens killed 50 humans before leaving. Jun's voice was cold. They didn't know we had hidden cameras watching. Yunha sat down hard. It's starting. Jun hit a button on his desk. Get me Earth Command, now. The emergency meeting room under Earth's embassy was filled with 20 of humanity's top leaders. Fleet Commander Day Park stood at the main screen, showing the attack on Colony 7. They came in with guns, said Day. This was never going to be just a testing. They were taking our people. President Jin Choi rubbed his eyes. If we act, we break 2,500 years of peace. Peace? Day laughed without humor. They've been stealing from us since we met them. That's not peace. That's slow war. Yunha showed them what she had found. The secret tests, the hidden weapons, the old plans that talked about humans as useful stock. We have two choices, said Jun after the proof was shown. We stay quiet and let them keep using us until they don't need us anymore. Or we fight. Fight the whole council? Asked one of the colony leaders. They have 1,000 worlds to our 30. Day stepped forward. They haven't fought a real war in over 2,000 years. We've been getting ready just in case since we first met them. Getting ready? President Choi raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Project Shield, said Day. Hidden ships, new weapons, things we kept off the books. You built a secret fleet? The president looked shocked. Every Earth leader for the past 200 years knew, said Day. We hoped never to need it. June looked around the room. We need to vote. Do we let this continue, or do we fight? They voted. It was close, but in the end, war won. I'll tell. The council tomorrow, said June. The Great Hall was filled again the next day, not for a party this time, but for a regular meeting. Councillor Vex, the tall, thin leader with 6 eyes, was talking about trade rules when June walked to the center of the room. Earth wishes to speak, said June. Vex's middle eyes blinked in surprise. This is not the time, Human Kim. Wait your turn. I will speak now, said June. His voice was louder than normal. Heads turned. We know what you've been doing, continued. Joan, the tests, the stealing of our genes, the attack on Colony 7. The hall got very quiet. These are serious claims, said Vex slowly. Do you have proof? June smiled without warmth. We do, and we've sent it to every world in the galaxy. Gasps filled the room. Some of the smaller aliens looked nervous. They had been used by the council. For 200 years we trusted you, said June. For 200 years we gave you the benefit of doubt. No more. Vex stood taller. Be careful, human. You are one small world among 1,000. And yet you fear us, said June. Why else would you steal our strength, our adaptability, our will to fight? What are you saying? Asked another counselor. I am saying that Earth, all her colonies, and all humans across the galaxy now stand, apart from your council. June's voice rang through the hall. I am saying that after 2,500 years of your false peace, humanity declares war. The hall exploded with noise. Some aliens jumped to their feet shouting. Others sat in shock. June turned and walked out as chaos spread behind him. He tapped his comm unit. It's done, he said. Day, you can start. Far above the council world, hidden ships appeared out of nowhere. The war had begun. Alarms screamed across the council space station. Red lights flashed in every hall. How many ships? Asked Councillor Vex, his 6 eyes wide with shock. 300, sir, said a nervous aide. They appeared out of nowhere. Impossible. Vex hit the table with his long fingers. Our sensors would have seen them coming. On the main screen, black ships with Earth symbol moved into position. They were not big, but they moved fast. Too fast. Get Admiral Crix, ordered Vex. Tell him to bring the Peace Fleet. The aide looked worried. The Peace Fleet hasn't fought a real battle in over 2,000 years. Then they will remember how today, hissed Vex. Fleet Commander Day Park stood on the bridge of his ship, the Soul. It was Earth's best warship, kept hidden for years in the dark space between stars. All ships in position, reported his second in command. Day nodded. Send the message to all alien worlds in this system. On screens across the system, Day's face appeared. His words were simple. This is not a war against your people. This is a war against the Council that has lied to us all. Any ship that fights for the Council will be destroyed. Stay out of our way, and you'll be safe. Sir, said his weapons. Officer, the Council station is hailing us. Ignore it, said Day. He checked the time. Tae-Woo should be inside by now. Special Forces Commander Tae-Woo Han moved through the dark halls of the Council's biggest weapon platform. His team of 20 wore black suits that hid them from alien eyes. How much farther? He asked over the secure comm. 2 more halls, replied Hana Yoon from Earth. She was Earth's best AI specialist, and she guided them using stolen maps. The main computer room should be just ahead. Tae-Woo held up his hand, and his team stopped. 2 alien guards stood outside a big door. They were Drek, a strong species with tough skin and 4 arms. Drek never work alone, whispered Tae-Woo. There must be more inside. He pointed to 2 of his team. They nodded and moved forward, quiet as shadows. The Drek guards died without a sound. We go in fast, said Tae-Woo. Stun everything that moves. They burst through the door. Inside, 10 more Drek turned in surprise. Before they could react, blue stun beams hit them. They fell to the ground. "Clear," called one of Taewoo's team. "Good," said Taewoo. He walked to the main computer. "Hana, we're in." "Connecting now," said Hana's voice. "This will take 5 minutes. Keep me safe." Taewoo posted guards at the door. 5 minutes, he told them. "Then this whole station belongs to us." On Earth, Hana Yoon sat surrounded by screens. Her fingers moved fast as she broke into the alien weapon platform. "How's it going?" asked Jin Choi, Earth's political leader. "Almost there," said Hana. "Their security is old, they haven't updated it in centuries." On one screen, Hana could see Taewoo's team holding position. On another, Day's fleet waited outside the alien station. On a third, she watched as alien ships began to move toward Earth's fleet. "They're bringing in their peace fleet," said Jin. 50 ships, Hana smiled. "They'll be too late." Her fingers hit a final button. "I'm in," she announced. "Platform control is ours." Admiral Crick stood proud on his flagship. He was tall with blue skin and a ridge of spikes down his back. For 300 years he had led the peace fleet. In all that time, no one had dared challenge the council. "Humans are brave but stupid," he told his officers. "Their few ships are no match for us." "Sir," said one of his crew, "the humans have hacked the defense platform." Crix turned to the screen in shock. The council's biggest weapon platform was turning its guns toward his fleet. "Impossible," he said. "Those platforms use AI that humans can't understand." But before he could say more, the platform fired. 3 of his ships exploded in bright balls of fire. "Evasive action," he ordered. But his ships were slow, made for show rather than real fighting. 4 more died as the platform fired again. At the same time, the Earth fleet began to move. They flew in patterns Crix had never seen before, breaking into small groups, then coming together again. "Sir, they're targeting our engines," shouted his weapons officer. One by one, the peace fleet ships lost power. They drifted helpless in space. In 20 minutes, it was over. The mighty peace fleet, pride of the council, was destroyed or captured. Admiral Crix watched in horror as a small Earthship docked with his flagship. Soon, humans would board his vessel. He had failed after 300 years of service. Back on Earth, Jin Choi stood before the Global Council. Representatives from all Earth colonies watched on screens. "Today," said Jin, "we have struck the first blow. The Council's main fleet is destroyed. Their weapon platforms are under our control. But this is just the beginning." He showed a map of the galaxy. Small lights showed human colonies spread out among the stars. "For 200 years, continued Jin, we have prepared for this day. We built hidden fleets. We placed agents on key worlds. We made friends with other species who also suffered under the Council's lies." The map changed, showing more lights. These were aliens who would fight with humans. "The Council thought we were weak because we were peaceful," said Jin. "They did not understand that humans choose peace. We are not peaceful because we can't fight. We are peaceful because we choose not to. Until now." The Earth Council voted to support Jin's war plan. The colonies joined one by one. "Send the message to all our forces," ordered Jin. "Operation Freedom has begun." Across the galaxy, humans received the coded message. Hidden ships appeared above 100 worlds. Secret bases opened their doors. Weapons that the Council thought impossible were activated. On the Council homeworld, Counselor Vex watched reports come in with growing horror. "How?" he asked the empty room. "How did they hide all this?" His aide entered, looking pale. "Sir, the humans have released more information to the galaxy. Records of our genetic programs, videos of our ships attacking their colonies. Everyone is seeing what we did." Vex slammed his fist down. "It doesn't matter. We still have 1,000 worlds. To their 30. "Sir," said the aide quietly, "many of those worlds are now asking why we lied about the humans. They want answers. Some are refusing to send ships." Vex stared at the map showing Earth's rapid advance. The humans had planned this for generations. They had expected betrayal from the very beginning. "Get me the High Council," said Vex. "Tell them Tell them we may have made a mistake with the humans. The war was just beginning, but already the balance of power was shifting. For the first time in 2,500 years, the galaxy knew what real conflict looked like. And at its center were the humans, a species that the Council had gravely underestimated. 1 month after the war began, Min Park walked through the busy market on planet Krell. This world sat on the edge of Council space. It was home to many different alien species. Min wore a simple gray coat that hid her human features. Here, humans were not welcome. Not officially. Min stopped at a food stand and bought a purple fruit. The seller, a short alien with green skin, gave her a secret nod. It was the signal she was waiting for. "The sun is warm today," said Min, using the code phrase. "But the shadows are cool," replied the alien, completing the code. The alien slipped Min a small data chip along with her fruit. Min nodded and moved on, eating the fruit as if nothing had happened. In just 1 month, human spies had made contact with 20 alien species who were unhappy with the Council. Not everyone wanted to live under the Council's lies. Some wanted freedom. Others just wanted the truth. Back on the Council homeworld, the emergency session had lasted for 3 days. The Great Hall, once perfect and clean, now looked messy. Council members shouted at each other. Some blamed Vex for the war. Others wanted to surrender to the humans. "Quiet," shouted Vex, standing tall. "We must stay united." A thin alien with gold skin stood up. This was Counselor Zen, from a young species that had only joined the Council 300 years ago. "United in what?" asked Zen. "In lies? The humans have shown us videos of your ships attacking their colonies. They've shown us proof that you stole their genetic material. How can we trust you now?" Vex's 6 eyes narrowed. "The humans twist the truth. They want to destroy our peace." "Peace built on lies is not peace at all," said Zen. Half the Council members nodded in agreement. The other half looked angry. The Council was breaking apart. In a secret room below the Council building, Sujin Kang moved silently through the dark. As Earth's best spy, she had lived on the Council world for 15 years. No one suspected her. Now she had a mission that could change everything. The old records room was locked with 3 different systems. Sujin bypassed them all in minutes. Inside, dust covered everything. No one had been here in centuries. "I'm in," she whispered into her hidden comm. "Good," replied June's voice. "Find anything that explains why they needed our genetics. Why they built a peace on lies." Sujin began searching through the old files. Most were boring reports about trade or minor conflicts from thousands of years ago. But then she found something. A sealed case with the oldest symbol of the Council. She opened it carefully. Inside was a device that projected a 3D image when activated. It showed a star map of the galaxy. But at the edge of the map, something dark was moving toward the galaxy. "June," she said, "I found something strange. I think it's why they've been stealing our genetics. They're afraid of something coming from outside the galaxy." "What is it?" asked June. "I don't know," said Sujin, "but whatever it is, it scared them enough to create 2,500 years of fake peace." On a neutral world, Min Park sat across from representatives of 5 alien species. They met in a small room with no windows. Security was tight. "My people thank you for meeting with us," said Min. "We know the risk you take." A tall alien with 4 arms nodded. "The Council has lied to us all, but can humans be trusted instead? You have destroyed half the peace fleet in 1 month." Min smiled. "We don't ask you to trust us. We ask you to join us for the truth. Look at these." She showed them images from Sujin's discovery, the dark thing at the edge of the galaxy, the old reports warning about it. "The Council built their peace to face this threat," explained Min. "But they did it wrong. They tried to control all species, make them weak and dependent. They stole from humans to make themselves stronger." "What do humans offer instead?" asked another alien. "Partnership," said Min simply. "True alliance. We share our strength, you share yours. Together we prepare for whatever comes." The aliens looked at each other. Then one by one they agreed to join with Earth. In the oldest part of the council building, Elder Trex sat alone. He was the oldest living being in the galaxy, over 5,000 years old. His people had been among the first to join the council. Now he had asked to meet with the humans. June Kim entered the room slowly. Elder Trex rarely saw anyone. This meeting was a great honor, even in wartime. "Thank you for seeing me," said June, bowing his head in respect. Elder Trex's skin was pale gray. His large eyes were cloudy with age. "I have watched your war," he said in a raspy voice. "You move fast. You strike hard. Just as we feared you would. We fight because we were betrayed," replied June. Trex nodded slowly. "Yes, a mistake. A grave mistake." He pointed a long finger at June. "But do you know why we feared you? Why we tried to take your strength for ourselves?" "Tell me," said June. Trex touched a hidden panel and the room darkened. Above them, stars appeared, showing the galaxy. Then at the edge, a growing darkness. "They are coming back," whispered Trex. "The Devourers. They come every 10,000 years. Last time we barely survived. We lost 500 worlds." "What are they?" asked June. "Death," said Trex simply. "They eat worlds, strip them down to nothing. They cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be stopped. Only survived. So the council created peace to prepare for them," said June, understanding now. "Yes," said Trex, "but we did it wrong. We tried to make all species calm, controllable. We feared warriors like humans. We tried to take your strength rather than ally with it." The old alien sighed. "A mistake that may doom us all. When will?" "They arrived," asked June. "Soon," said Trex, "within a year. And the galaxy is now at war with itself thanks to our lies and your anger." June stood in silence, thinking. Then he looked at the old alien. "It's not too late to fix this. But we need the truth. All of it. No more lies." Trex stared at June for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Yes. But will your people believe? Will they fight for aliens who tried to use them?" "Humans are strange," said June with a small smile. "We can hate you for what you did and still help you against a bigger threat. It's what makes us human." The emergency meeting of the council had reached its third day when the doors burst open. June Kim walked in, followed by Elder Trex. The Chi room went silent. No one had seen Trex in public for centuries. "Counselors," said Trex, his voice stronger than it had been in private. "I have told the humans everything. About the Devourers, about our fears, about our mistakes." Vex jumped to his feet. "You had no right." "I had every right," said Trex calmly. "I was there when we first faced the Devourers. I voted for the Great Peace, and I watched as we twisted it into a tool of control." June stepped forward. "We know the truth now. We know why you feared us, why you stole from us." He looked around the room. "But there is a bigger war coming, one that will decide if any of us survive. The humans are offering a choice," said Trex. "True alliance against the Devourers, or we all face them alone and divided." The council chamber erupted in voices, some angry, some afraid, some hopeful. The council was changing forever. And outside, the darkness at the edge of the galaxy grew closer. 6 months after the war began, Earth looked very different. Giant defense platforms circled the planet. New shipyards built warships day and night. But most surprising were the alien ships that now docked at Earth's stations. Former enemies worked with humans to prepare for the Devourers. Junho Huang stood in the new Global Command Center under Seoul. As the chief planner for Earth's defense, he had not slept more than 4 hours a night in months. "How are the new alliance talks going?" he asked June Kim, who had just returned from another council meeting. "Better than expected," said June. 42 species have joined us so far. Even Counselor Vex is starting to listen." Junho nodded. On the big screen before them, a map showed the known galaxy. At the edge, Red dots marked where scout ships had spotted the first signs of the Devourers. "They'll reach the outer systems in 3 months," said Junho. "Are we ready?" June looked tired. "No, but we're more ready than we would have been under the old council. Their plan was to hide and hope the Devourers would take only a few hundred worlds before leaving. And our plan? To fight," said June simply. In her lab on Earth's moon, young Mi Kim worked with a team of humans and aliens. The large room was filled with strange equipment. Some was human, some was alien. All of it was focused on one goal: finding a way to stop the Devourers. A tall alien with blue skin looked through a microscope. This was Dr. Exel, once a top council scientist. Now he worked with humans. "Your adaptive technology is remarkable," said Exel. "We would never have thought to combine biological systems with AI this way." Young Mi smiled. "That's why the council kept stealing our genes. They saw something in us they needed." "Yes," agreed Zell. "You adapt quickly. You think in ways we do not." Young Mi checked the latest test results. Their new weapon was almost ready. It used the best of human creativity and alien knowledge. "Will it be enough?" asked Zell. Young Mi looked out the window at Earth, blue and beautiful in the black sky. "It has to be." The Outer Defense Fleet, a mix of human and alien ships, patrolled the edge of settled space. Grand Admiral Day Park, now in command of the combined fleet, stood on the bridge of his flagship. Beside him was Admiral Crix, once his enemy, now his ally. "Scan complete," reported a young officer. "No sign of the Devourers yet." Day nodded. "They're coming. Scout ships don't lie." Crix looked uncomfortable. The former council admiral was not used to waiting for battle. "I still find it hard to believe our leaders kept this secret for so long. We could have been truly preparing, instead of just pretending to be peaceful." "Fear makes people do stupid things," said Day. "The council was afraid of the Devourers, so they built a fake peace. They were afraid of humans, so they tried to steal our strength instead of asking for our help." An alarm sounded. Every screen on the bridge lit up with warnings. "Contact," shouted the sensor officer. "Multiple objects entering the system at high speed." On the main screen they appeared. Strange ships like nothing anyone had ever seen. They were black and spiky, more like living things than machines, hundreds of them, then thousands pouring into the system. "The Devourers," whispered Crix. Day hit the ship-wide comm. "All ships, battle positions. This is not a drill. They're here." The first battle was a disaster. The combined fleet fought bravely, but the Devourer ships were too many and too strange. They didn't fight like normal ships. They absorbed energy weapons and seemed to heal from physical damage. Within hours, the outer defense line was broken. A dozen worlds sent emergency calls as the Devourers approached. On Earth, the emergency council met in the underground bunker. Representatives from all human colonies and allied alien worlds watched as Junho showed the battle reports. "We lost 30% of our ships," he said. "The Devourers lost more, but they don't seem to care. They just keep coming." "Did Young Mi's weapon work?" asked Jin Choi. "Partly," replied Junho. "It hurt them, but not enough. She needs more time." Elder Trex, who now lived on Earth as an advisor, spoke up. "Last time we survived by hiding and sacrificing outer worlds. We cannot defeat them directly." Junho looked at the old alien. "With all respect, Elder, that's the council way of thinking. Humans don't give up so easily." He touched the screen, showing a new battle plan. "The Devourers are strong, but not smart. They don't adapt, they just overpower. But we can adapt." "What do you suggest?" asked Counselor Zen, who represented the allied alien worlds. "A new strategy," said Junho. "We don't try to hold territory. We hit and run. We gather data. We learn their weaknesses while Young Mi finishes the weapon." "And the outer worlds?" asked someone. "Do we abandon them like the council did before?" "No," said Junho firmly. "We evacuate. Every person, every ship, every piece of useful technology. We leave the Devourers nothing but empty rocks." The council voted. The new plan was approved. For 2 months, the combined forces of humans and aliens fought a retreating battle against the Devourers. Millions were evacuated from outer worlds. Every battle provided new data on how the enemy fought. Young Mai worked day and night, testing and improving her weapon. Each failure taught her something new. Finally, as the Devourers approached the core systems, she called Earth Command. "It's ready," she said simply. The final battle took place near a dying star. Grand Admiral Day had chosen this location carefully. The star's radiation would help amplify Young Mi's weapon. The remaining fleet, now down to 60% of its original size, faced the main Devourer force. The black ships filled space like a swarm of insects. "All ships prepare to deploy the Harmony weapon," ordered Day. "Remember your training." Across the fleet, special devices were activated. Each one looked simple, just a small box with a glowing center. But together they created a network, linking all ships in a single system. "Harmony network active," reported Day's technical officer. "Now we see if young Mai was right," said Day. The weapon fired. Not energy beams or missiles, but a wave of complex signals. The Harmony weapon didn't try to destroy the Devourers. It tried to talk to them. Young Mi had discovered that the Devourers weren't just ships. They were a hive mind, like insects. They didn't communicate like normal beings. Her weapon spoke their language, a mix of radiation pulses and quantum signals. Honor. The bridge, everyone held their breath. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the Devourer ship stopped. They hung in space, not attacking, not moving. "It's working," someone shouted. The second part of the weapon activated. Now that they had the Devourer's attention, they could send their message. "Leave. Find another path through the galaxy. This territory is defended." For 3 tense hours, the fleets faced each other. Then slowly, the Devourer ships began to turn. One by one, then in groups, they moved away from the core systems. They were leaving. "They understood," said Crix in amazement. "Your scientist actually found a way to talk to them." Day smiled. "That's what humans do best. We find new ways to solve old problems." 1 year after the Devourers left, the galaxy was still rebuilding. The old council building had been replaced with a new structure, the Galactic Alliance headquarters. Inside, representatives from all species met as equals. June Kim and Elder Trex stood on a balcony, watching ships come and go in the busy space. "Port, did you ever think we would end up here?" asked Trex. "When you declared war on us?" June shook his head. "No. I thought we would fight you. Maybe win, maybe lose. I never imagined we would end up as true allies." "Humans surprised us again," said Trex. "You broke 2,500 years of peace, started a war, then helped save us all from the Devourers." "The peace was a lie," said June. "What we have now is harder, messier, but real. Different species working together, arguing sometimes, but honest with each other." Below them in the Great Hall, Jun-Ho was presenting the new Galactic Defense Plan. Young Mi was showing her latest research. Dee and Crix were training a new combined fleet. "It took a war to bring real peace," said June. "Maybe that's the most human thing of all, finding hope in the middle of conflict." Trex nodded slowly. "Perhaps that is why the galaxy needed humans all along. Not for your genetics, but for your spirit." The new alliance wasn't perfect. There were still arguments and problems to solve, but it was built on truth, not lies. On strength freely shared, not stolen. The Devourers might return someday, but when they did, they would find a galaxy united and ready, all because humanity had shattered the peace and demanded something better.